Across the Atlantic in Europe, German flag carrier Lufthansa is facing difficult times. The airline is complaining about the cost of doing business, and it's even cut one important route from Frankfurt to Beijing. Lufthansa plans to suspend its Beijing routes departing Frankfurt Airport. The reasons are competition from China and other countries, as well as stricter European framework conditions. As per reports, Lufthansa will in all likelihood suspend its flights from Frankfurt to Beijing. Lars Holter is with Deutsche Welle and he joins me from Berlin. Lars, what's going on at Lufthansa?
Thanks for having me. Well, let's look at that flight from Frankfurt to Berlin first that you just mentioned. Lufthansa has cut it, and there's a bunch of reasons for this step. First of all, the China business has been difficult for a while. Then came COVID and cuts drastically into air travel. Now, tourism has largely bounced back, but business travel has not. And for Germans, China has never been a major tourism destination. So most of the passengers Lufthansa flew back and forth between Frankfurt and Beijing were business travelers. Now that many businesses have switched from in-person meetings to online meetings, demand for the flight is simply shrinking. And there's also a few other problems. Ever since the EU has levied sanctions on Russia over Moscow's war in Ukraine, of course, Russia has closed off its airspace, forcing Lufthansa to fly a 2-hour detour and burn a lot more fuel than some competitors actually, like Emirates, Etihad and Qatar Airways do, because those airlines can still fly over Russia. So it seems right now, between rising cost and less demand, the route is not worth it for Lufthansa.
Also, Lars, how is Lufthansa doing outside this particular Chinese market?
Yeah, not too well either. And again, it's not just company problems. Lufthansa, just like other airlines, have long complained about the high cost of flying from and to German airports. I've actually just come upon a list of fees and taxes that airlines have to pay for their slots at different airports in Europe. And with just around 4,400 euros per flight, that would be in this case for an A320, the airports in Frankfurt, Stuttgart and Düsseldorf are the most expensive airports on the entire continent. Vienna and Paris aren't exactly cheap either, but they're over 1,000 euros cheaper than German airports. Rome comes in at half the price, and other smaller markets often just charge a fraction. Now, an airline like Lufthansa, with its major hub in Frankfurt, is of course disproportionately affected by such high rates. Add to that the high cost of getting flights more climate friendly through the growing use of sustainable aviation fuels, and you have a serious problem for the entire sector.
Lars, thank you. Appreciate it. Lars Holter reporting there from Berlin.